We are live. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Glen. My name's Glenn, and I am trying to work my way through this crazy world of crypto, as I have been for coming up for 2 years soon. Actually, I think September it'll be 2 years I've been doing it. So, what have I learned in that 2 years? I've learned any quick ways of making money seem to be scams. And even if they're not scams, people are trying to make on top of it money out of you, trying to make money. So then you're always behind. But anyway, that's what I've learned. That's not a very positive sentiment, I suppose. But anyway, checking the price of Bitcoin as I do every day. Kevin says, evening, Glenn. I'm going to try and pronounce this right. I know you've been watching videos for ages, mate, but Gumero del Monino says, hey. Hey, guys, thanks for joining the video. It's good to see you, Kev. I haven't seen you for a little while in the videos. He said, LOL. Sorry, my pronunciation isn't the best. Also, I'm still tired and hungover from Poland, so hence why my voice might be a bit more huskier than normal. So yeah, checking the price of Bitcoin as I always do, 2-3 times a day. I actually check it far more than I realized, actually. Crypto Sock says, I've got out of crypto in total. I'm in the stock market. Fair enough. Risk versus reward. Something that I would say before we get into Bitcoin price, something that crypto has taught me, and this is saying that it's not just crypto, I suppose. I'm just going off on a tangent here, so bear with me. I was listening to a podcast of someone who's been very successful financially. I can't remember his name, Japanese guy. He's wrote books and he's been very successful. And he was talking about how wealth can't be measured by how much money you have. So, which it sounds really crazy. But he was saying your wealth is how much assets you have, because I was trying to explain this to a friend over the when I went Poland for the weekend, which was awesome, by the way. Thanks for everyone who watched my drunk videos. Sorry if I said anything offensive. I ain't even watched them back yet. What I mean is, if you had $50,000 in the bank today, you would be able to go out and buy, say, a Land Rover, or even maybe a house, depending on where you live and how much your house prices are. Now, if you kept that 50,000 in the bank and say it started accumulating 1% interest over 10 years, whatever, it may go up to 55, 60,000. I don't know, just plucking figures out for now. But in that 10 years down the line, what will that 50, 55 grand buy you? Will you still be able to buy a Land Rover with it? Would you still be able to buy a house with it? Probably not. So does that mean those assets are inherently more in demand? Probably not. It's probably the same demand. Are they massively technically advanced? Probably not. House is still a house. Car is still a car. Yeah, there are some tech features or jewelry or whatever it is you want to use as an example. So what is that then? So, and it's weird because when you're talking to people about this, they're just like, well, yeah, duh. But as soon as you start talking about, you know, cryptocurrencies and like inflation-based currency, they're just like, well, nah, I'm not interested. Yeah, no. But it seems like everyone understands what £50,000 can buy you, or dollars, sorry, can buy you today. It will not buy you in 10 years' time the same item. So say you have Bitcoin, gold, silver, petrol, shares in a company, property, though, if you have those as if you had bought that £50,000 you put into assets, and based on what we've just said, in 10 years' time, those assets you will not be able to buy for £50,000. Your net worth has gone up. So the game that we're all in is to not have cash, is to not have money. It's to have assets. If you have assets, you can always leverage those assets against what they're worth at that point in time. Anyway, bringing it back to cryptocurrency, because that's what you're all here for. Things like Bitcoin, and whatever coins that you believe have inherent worth, are assets. That you're buying a asset. You're not buying cash. So long-term wise, you would hope to obviously that your money that you can buy today wouldn't be able to buy the same thing in 10 years' time. So what I mean by that is, depending on if Bitcoin is at $5,000, $7,000, $10,000, whatever, do you think in 10 years' time you will also be able to buy a Bitcoin at $5,000, $7,000, $10,000? Probably not, unless something technically goes wrong with Bitcoin or there isn't any use case for it. People always need the use of a home, always need the use of cars, always need the use of food, water, energy, stuff like that. So obviously Bitcoin in the future, if it becomes a need rather than a want. So sorry, I'm going right off on a tangent here. I'm just talking thoughts that I've had over the last day or two. China and America are having this massive sort of battle with 5G at the moment, and 5G is meant to offer not just faster speeds, it's meant to be ridiculously fast. But then I swear we say this every time internet improves in some way. But as well as that, it's going to offer, it will be able to offer completely different experiences, not just faster internet. What do I mean by that? So I was watching this thing the other day where they'll be able to stream live sports as if you're on the pitch with the players through your phone, like a virtual reality thing. And the video will not need to buffer, which is ridiculous. Like, why would you go and watch it? You would stay at home and have a thing over your face and you'd be there. You could be standing beside your hero in a sporting event. That's offering a different experience. And they're also saying that because the internet will have such large data pockets, like the amount of data that can be transferred from one thing to another, that things like micropayments from one service to another will be really easy, really fluent, very fast, right? So I'm trying to bring this back to crypto, trust me. Obviously, if that was to happen, say if over the next few years, as long with the rise of 5G, and obviously Bitcoin always improving and becoming more secure and having a good store of value, people will look and say, okay, I really want to just have my phone and I want to be able to jump on the bus, then buy an item of clothing from the shop, and then get a taxi to the other side of London, and then I don't know, buy a drink or something like that. And I want to do all of that without ever having to get my wallet out, without having to hand my card over, without having to enter in a PIN number. And we obviously have this with contactless cards. But imagine if that was all on your phone and your phone just connected to these services as you walked through them. or traveled through them, or as you scan items. Yeah. So then you've got to look at, okay, well, what's going to be the digital currency of what's going to be that? And obviously we all here, I'm sure, can agree. I'm sure there'll be a bit of dispute. Most likely will be Bitcoin. And if it's not, it'll be something similar to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin will always be the inherent king, and you can trade Bitcoin for more of that coin, whatever it may be. So then crypto and Bitcoin all of a sudden go from, at the moment, not being used. It's being exchanged for dollars, and that's why we're seeing these prices go up and down, up and up and down. There's no need there's no need for it. I don't need Bitcoin to get by tomorrow. I don't need Bitcoin to get by next week. I don't need Bitcoin to get by next year. But once there's a need for it, God, the value of it would be ridiculous. That's my opinion. That's what I was thinking. These are things that I've been thinking. At the moment, we're seeing Bitcoin swing from $8,500 to back down to 7.5, and then back up to 8, and then back, all within one day. One day. That's mental. Like, I haven't seen Bitcoin so volatile in such a short period of time. It's like the people that are trading and stuff like that, they don't know. They're not unsure whether this is going to break out to the up or break out to the down, which I know Bitcoin has been at that sort of stage many times before, and I've experienced it. I saw it go from 7 to 20, back down to 3. Now we're back up, and then it went to 9, and now we're, as of right now, it was 7.5, 7.6. So massive swings there. I've seen this happen. I've experienced it. I've lost money on it. I've gained money on it. But at the moment, this is a really tricky time, because looking at the charts, and obviously I don't do technical analysis, and I have no experience in this, so people might watch this and go, Glenn, what do you fucking know? All I know is that I check the price all the time, and recognizing rough patterns, trends, the amount of people that watch my videos, comment on my videos, chat in the Telegram group chat, which if you want to be a part of, the link to it is down below. It's completely free. Please jump in and chat. I think a few of the guys in there really want some new fresh blood to come in and chat. Yeah, so based on those sort of indicators, you can sort of gauge the interest of Bitcoin. And at the moment, we're in this grey area. There are people in the Telegram group chat, Team BitGlen. There are some people saying, oh, this is it. We're going to 12K. We're going to 15K. I think someone, I swear, I might have been PJ. I swear he said 25K the other day or something like that. Then there's other people saying it's going to 1,500, 2 grand. So it's really swinging. And obviously they're not the people really making the decisions. They're just sort of riding whatever wave they're betting on. But the people that are selling 10,000 Bitcoin at a time for a set price, they are really making a huge difference swing wise. So therefore, we're all part of their game. And some people won't want to hear that. But if one man, say if I had 15,000 Bitcoin, so there are 21 million Bitcoin. I don't even own one. Some people own 15, 20,000 Bitcoin. If they decide to sell all 20,000 of those Bitcoin for $6,000, guess what? The price of Bitcoin is $6,000. If they decide to sell the Bitcoin a bit above, then the price goes up. So obviously, as amateur and people that are learning trading, when we see all of a sudden the price go up by $500 or $1,000, we all get excited. Oh, this is it. This is the bull run. Da, da, da. And then you buy in. And then all of a sudden you're buying that person's 15,000 Bitcoin. You're buying them at the high price because you think, oh my God, it's going up. And obviously they're buying back in at the low point. They're putting in high orders for it being low. Then the price goes down. So they're making money both ways. But we, unfortunately, and people won't want to hear this. And again, I shouldn't really do this because I know people on YouTube, they just want to hear what they want to hear. But unfortunately, we are a part of their game. So if you're thinking, oh yeah, I've followed technical analysis and I know it's going down or it's going up, really, until they decide, like, yeah, I want to sell now at this point, you're just a part of their game. And if you can make, I'm sure if you looked at it over the course of a couple of years, if you actually sat and weighed up how much money you've gained and lost, if you're even, fair play. If you're up, carry on doing it. You're doing something awesome. If you're down overall, what's the point? What's the point? So that's where I'm at the moment. Obviously, I'm out of the game, if you like. I'm just merely a spectator. I'm reporting to you guys through my videos. I check the price. I actually have it. Oh, I have it. Let's see if I can get it on my phone. I'm on. So this is my watch face. So literally every time I check the time, I see what the price is. So sometimes even when I don't really mean to check the time price of Bitcoin, I'll look at the time and I'll go, oh, it's 9 o'clock. Oh, Bitcoin's gone down £200. You know, so all my mind's on it all the time, like almost 24/7. But I'm merely just a spectator. It's like watching a sport or being played out in front of you, but with money. So I don't mean to be negative. I don't mean to put a bad spin on this. Don't mean to spread FUD. But what it has taught me is that if you're in this just to trade and make money, the gentleman that said, Glenn, I've come out of this now, I'm doing stock shares, you're actually probably better off doing that because stocks and shares typically move up at a lot slower rate, but consistently. So you are generally, even on the down days, at some point it's going to go back up, which, you know, if that's your appetite for risk, then great. For me, and I've said this so many times, and people take this as, oh, he don't like Bitcoin no more. He doesn't like cryptocurrency no more. But people are mishearing what I'm saying. I believe Bitcoin is going to be worth over $100,000 per coin. But I believe it will take probably 5 years to get there. If that is the case, it doesn't matter too much to me if I buy it at 3K, 4K, 7K, 10K, 12K. It just means instead of making 50x, if you like, I might make 48x. Do you see what I mean? It's the margins are, unless Bitcoin went right down, like, I mean, if it went down to like, yeah, I don't know, say $500, then obviously, then the amount of X that you would end up with if you sold them at 100,000 would be massively more. But when you're sort of deciding whether to get involved in Bitcoin or buy and sell and hold and stuff like that, between sort of 3 and 7,000, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter. The other day I got a bit nervous because obviously being out of it, and again, this was FOMO, and this is what a lot of people experience. when Bitcoin started to go from sort of 4.5, all the way up to sort of 9, I was thinking, oh shit, what if this is the all-time high coming up? You know, what if this is the 30, 40,000? And I had people coming up to me saying, Glenn, that Bitcoin is it's going up in price. So have you made loads of money? I said, no, I haven't got any Bitcoin. What? You were talking about it, you're doing YouTube videos about it, you was wearing t-shirts about Bitcoin, you were talking about setting up a shop, and you ain't even got any, you know. And I said, yeah, I'm just going to wait until it's at a price. One, when I have the funds, you know, I'm going to wait until no credit cards, no loans, no borrowing money off people. I'm just going to buy it and just leave it. And I'm comfortable with it. I don't care if it goes up, down, whatever. I'm just going to buy it with money that I don't care if I lose and ride it out. Some people, though, especially in the YouTube community, crypto community, they take that as me being negative, because really I should be doing videos saying everyone needs to buy Bitcoin, everyone needs to, you know, put all their life savings into it. They need to remortgage their house. They need to buy as much Bitcoin as they can. But that's not me. I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to be consistent and clear in what I'm saying. And yeah, that's my thoughts. What do you guys think? These swings of 10, you know, it's mental. It's like I say, today it went down 10%. So that's a whole asset. Imagine, to put that in context, imagine your house. Say your house is worth $100,000 or pounds. Imagine if you got a phone call saying your house just dropped 10% in price. You'd think, fuck. And then 5 hours later, they say, oh no, it's all right, it's gone back up now. And you think, oh God, that was lucky. Yeah, it's now gone up another, 5%. You'd be like, oh, should I sell it now? Because I'll get another 5,000. And then it's back down again. That is like an emotional roller coaster. So, sometimes it's probably best off not knowing or not being a part of that game, and, just riding it out. They say, well, it's okay. I'm going to live in this house for the next 20 years. I don't care what it's worth today. It doesn't bother me. It could go down to £1,000. I still will want to live here. So if you believe in Bitcoin like I do, I don't care if I buy in. Today may be the cheapest it's ever going to be, ever. But it doesn't matter. It's not the right time for me to accumulate that asset. It's not the right time for me financially. I bought some just to get the Coinbase card, which hasn't come through yet. I will do like a review of it. I'm going to actually try and use it and buy. I don't actually enjoy coffee. A lot of people always criticize cryptocurrency on whether you can buy a coffee with it. No. Glenn doesn't drink coffee. I don't drink hot drinks. I'm all about water and juice. But I love a McDonald's. So we'll get the Coinbase card. We'll go live. I'll go through drive-through and I'll buy McDonald's with some Bitcoin. Yes, living the dream. And if that works, and it works really fluent, and it doesn't cost loads in fees, and imagine if 5G was there and I just went through drive-through and my phone automatically paid for whatever I ordered because their terminal would send a signal to my device and it just did it automatically. God, that is like, imagine that. Drive-through would be faster. You would get your food quicker. You would just, because normally you have to order at one thing, go around and do the payment thing, which is what normally takes quite a bit of time because you have to get your wallet out or your card or your cash. They have to take it, they have to put it through their till, then they have to, or even by card, even if you do contactless, you have to wait until it goes beep, and then you have to wait, and they go, yeah, that's fine. You go, okay, great, and then you drive through to the next thing. Anyway, imagine when you've got Bitcoin running on the Lightning Network on 5G through your contactless phone, which you've already got the McDonald's app. You go through, bing, it's already paid for. Right, drive right round to the window where you collect your food. Ah, sweet. So yeah, anyway, that's Glenn's vision of the future. Yeah, so if you depending on your view, now some of you may be watching this. Generally, my videos tend to get about 100 views nowadays. Obviously, it's dropped right off, but some out of those 100, maybe I would say 60 to 80 of you will be like, yeah, but Glenn, I'm trading, I'm day trade that Bitcoin. So you're trying to accumulate more Bitcoin. I would honestly sit back and actually look at your records overall and say, okay, well, I started this crypto game with this much, and I've been typically putting in this amount of money. So overall, my total expense or investment into Bitcoin is, say, 2,000 pounds or dollars, whatever your figure is. Look back at the day you first started doing that and say, if I just bought Bitcoin that day at that amount, I would have this amount of Bitcoin. Would you have been better off just doing that and holding? I don't know. I'm obviously, like I say, in a position where I'm now spectating. So give it, I would say, I'm still waiting for something to come off. Give it another month or so. If Bitcoin is back down to the levels we were at, and I'm in a position to buy back in, I mean, that is just pure fluke. That's not me timing the market. It's what I'm trying to say is there's a date that I have in my head of when I'm buying back into crypto. I don't want to share that date. I'll tell you when it happens. When will the Q&A begin? In a second. Sorry, I know I'm going off on a tangent. Sorry. I've got a date in my head of when I will buy back in, and if it just so happens that it coincides with Bitcoin also being at an all-time, not an all-time, but at a low for the last 2 or 3 years, that's just pure fluke. I mean, that is just, but I plan to buy in whether it's at all-time low, whether it stays the same now or whether it's a bit higher. So it don't matter too much. But anyway, let's see what you guys are saying. Because it's Team Bit Glen all the way. Yeah, boy. Whoop whoop. JD says your fan base love you, Glenn. Cheers, mate. Thank you. I still have my 2 Bitcoin. It's going to rise more this year. Well done, Spanish John. JD says wise words, Leonard. Spanish John says, wish I had sold December 2017. There may be a day that you will say, well, I'm glad I didn't sell. Who knows? We all do, John. Hindsight is the #1 trader. I bought them for 250 quid, so I'm still in the plus. Well done, Spanish John. That's a good profit there. Love it, John. I have a friend who bought them in school when we were 16 to buy drugs online. He had hundreds. I like hearing these stories. Did he sell? I know some of them in 2017. Awesome. You and your friends are visionaries. Let's have a look. Where's the questions from me? JD, go Spitfire. Sorry, what? Glenn, whatever happened with BitConnect? You remember I told you it was a scam a year ago. Hang on a minute. BitConnect's a scam? What? Actually, I remember, that's one thing that I am proud of, is that generally, because I've grown up with the internet and I'm normally quite tech savvy, I've always been able to spot a Duff website. And when I went to BitConnect and I was watching, who did it? Crypto Nick or whatever his name. When I went to the website, even when I was first in Bitcoin and I wanted to accumulate more Bitcoin, even I was like, this ain't right. And I remember doing, if anyone can back me up, if you go back to my very earliest videos, I was like, I've noticed a lot of YouTubers are doing this BitConnect thing. I'm not going to do it. And I was stupid. Well, was I stupid? A lot of YouTubers were making lots of money doing that because being a YouTube personality, you're quite influential. So I could have convinced a lot of people to sign up using my referral code. I could have made lots of money, but I chose not to. That's one thing that I've always been proud that I didn't do. But I did get suckered in by the ICO envying. So swings and roundabouts. Glen, buy slowly in small bits on the dips so that it's not a disaster if it drops. Good advice, Jack. That's probably the clearest, most simplest advice you get. Buy slowly in small bits on the dips so it's not a disaster. What Soros doesn't with the real currency? Hashim says, yo, yo, yo. Glenn is talking from the heart. Kevin, yeah, I haven't checked much out in the space for a while. Obviously, after my experience last year, which is now exactly a year ago, I just keep my eye on Bitcoin. Kevin, I hope you've come back from the brink. I remember that you had a really rough time and you was going through a lot of stuff, which I can't remember if you want it disclosed on YouTube or not. But I hope that things have got better for you, mate. And yeah, same with me. I got burnt, I've lost money, and now I'm just a spectator and I will jump in the game when I'm ready, not when Bitcoin's when YouTube is telling me to and Twitter is telling me to. I'll do it when Glenn's ready. If you think about it, it doesn't matter when you buy, and as long as when you sell it's for profit, so you can still buy more, Glenn. True, clear advice there from Spanish John. But it works the same the other way. I wanted to sell December and everyone told me that I was adamant it will go higher and then it dropped. Yeah, this is where you have to take the emotional side out of it. If you buy something for, $2,000 and it's now worth $20,000, you have to look at that and say, well, even if I sold and it continued to go up, because that's the fear, isn't it? Oh, what if it keeps going up? Oh God, I miss out. You can always say, yeah, I sold my Bitcoin at 20,000, and it's gone to 40,000. So yeah, I could have made more money, but I'm still up by, £10,000. No one's gonna go, oh, you dickhead, making 10,000 when you could have made. I'm sure there are people out there that regret selling their Bitcoin at, $1, but I'm sure they still made money on the way up. I got a WireX card, use it down the pub. Nice. I've never heard of that. WireX. I'll have to do a little bit of research. Coinbase card. I wish I hadn't just heard that now. So tempting to get one and use it, but I shouldn't. Well, I think as long as you've got £15 worth of Bitcoin, or is it a fiver? I think it's a fiver. As long as you've got a fiver, that's all it costs to set up. So maybe just put £10, £15 into a different Coinbase account and just use the card on that, so you're not dipping into your actual savings. JD says, whoop whoop. So Mackie D's with Bitcoin card would be jokes. This is Glenn we love. Still mining, Pitman. How are you getting on with that? Are you profitable at the moment? I know that I was watching a video the other day and they were saying if Bitcoin was to go down to 4,500 again, it would be really difficult because the Bitcoin mining hash rate is at an all-time high. So I remember when I was doing it and we were going through profitability all the time, weren't we? We was on the calculators and all that, and it always seemed to work out that as long as Bitcoin was over 6K, then it would be slightly profitable or something like that. And then obviously the hash rate went up and 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 up. Now it's at an all-time high, and the price of Bitcoin obviously is at, whatever it is now, 7.5. But they're saying if it dropped, that would be really bad news for the mining space. I've spent more than I put in, and I have more than last year. I think that's a good thing. That's like a contradiction there. I've spent more than I put in. I think that's are you meant to say that you have more Bitcoin than you put in? And I have more than last year. I'm not sure. Sorry. JD says, love it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. One Bitcoin is still one Bitcoin. Pounds, dollars will go away in the end. Yeah, I mean, that's if you're thinking like that, these prices shouldn't really matter, because even if you bought in at $100,000, eventually when that currency goes away, it wouldn't have mattered. So it doesn't matter when you buy it back in. I've always said this, I can't see fiat money going away. It may be almost worthless, but even in countries where there's hyperinflation, they're still not resorting to cryptocurrency. And if they are, it's only in a very small amount. So I can't see cryptocurrency taking over fiat money in terms of overall population use. But I can see them working sort of side by side, and I believe Bitcoin one day will be the world's currency. So what I mean by that is you will still have pounds, you still have dollars, you will still have zloty, as in Poland, you will still have the euro and all those sort of currencies, but they will all be measured on how much it is worth against one Bitcoin. At the moment, that currency that we all use to compare is normally the US dollar. So you would you would go to, I don't know, whatever currency they have in the Philippines, and you would say, okay, that's worth this many dollars. And that's a way of gauging how much the yen is worth dollars. And then you could gauge how much your money's worth against yen via dollars, So yeah, that's like the current standard at the moment. But I believe one day that will be Bitcoin. People will say, oh, you can buy, one Bitcoin buys you $100,000, or it buys you 1.2 million yen, or it buys you 50,000 or 500,000 zloty. That's my opinion. Also, Glenn, have you heard of this latest craze, leveraging trading? Yeah, you're talking about BitMEX and stuff. I haven't participated in anything like that yet. I don't think I'm clever enough to do that sort of stuff. It's when you see swings of like 10% either way in one day or within 12 hours, you've got to look at it and say, right, okay, the asset isn't any more in demand. The asset hasn't changed technology wise. The asset hasn't become more scarce. So then at that point, the fact that it's just swinging, it's just, you got to say that's just gambling. That is just, you're just betting on like red or black. You've actually got clearer odds probably with red or black. A lot of people say, yeah, but Glenn, I've got technical analysis and I understand it, and you don't understand the fundamentals of technical analysis, which is fine. But if you bet on red or black, you don't need to know any technical. You just need to know if it's red, you win. If it's the opposite color, you lose. And if it's green, everyone's fucked. Also, Glenn, all right, I read that one. Make a plan, stick to it, take profits. Good advice. Yeah, you told my story about bankruptcy and marriage breakdown. It's all good, mate. Life's on the up, but I don't invest anymore. I think we all feel a bit like that. But then again, I'm sure once Bitcoin starts going up, we all start thinking, oh, should should I cash out now and I can buy more? You know, that FOMO starts to kick in, doesn't it? Pitman says, traded my coins that I mined, make more coins, take out the cost for everything, still got coins, play the game for free, well, it costs time. Yeah, that's the point. You got to take your time out of it, I suppose. It's only if you're doing it as a hobby, it's not too bad. JD says, absolutely love a bit of Zloty. Oh, there you go. All up to date of your questions. So, going completely off crypto. If you're not that interested in anything I've got to say about my personal life, you just wanted my views of crypto, I'm going to change gears a bit now, so you can come off this video or whatever. I was in Poland. I found a Bitcoin shop, but we literally walked past it, and I said to the guys, like, guys, wait. And I was obviously with a big group of people, or like, you know, like I couldn't just go off on my own sort of thing. And they were walking off ahead. So I did the YouTube video saying, oh, look, I've just found a Bitcoin shop, and I never actually went in there, and we never visited that area again. So I really, really regret that. I should have gone in there and just said, look, I've got 100 Zloty. What can I get with it? And how do you pay it? How long does it take? And I should have done a video like that. So I really regret that, actually. That's actually pissed me off thinking about it. But anyway, I had a great time in Poland, got very drunk over the course of 3 days, drank every single night. So I'm sort of still recovering now. Back at home now, back to normal. Spent a day with the kids and that yesterday. But anyway, while I was in Poland, my wife texted me saying, oh, guess what your daughter's done? And I was thinking, oh, it's going to be like a drawing or a gift or something. She's going to done a video saying she's missed daddy or whatever like that. No, she has broken my 75-inch TV, which you can see here on Alvin and the Chipmunks. This black line going down it and these wavy lines going across it. Apparently she was sweeping the floor with a broom and then she's knocked the TV. So, gutted. Now, things like this, bringing it back to crypto, does actually set me back, because that TV cost me £1,000, and I think, oh, and I only bought it 4 months ago. I think, I wish I bought some Bitcoin with that £1,000. And now, not only that, I now need to buy another TV. I can't watch TV like this without my eyes getting completely messed up. So now I need to spend more money getting another TV. So I've been looking at secondhand ones and stuff like that. But again, I've been looking, obviously, I'm a bit of a, like I say, I'm into my tech and gadgets and stuff like that. So I've always wanted a OLED TV. I know I can't get a 75-inch OLED because the prices are astronomical. So sort of TVs that are achievable, you're looking at a 65-inch OLED. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. But then I think, God, for £2,500, so that's what's that? It's about $3,000. I could buy 0.5 Bitcoin. So yeah, things like that go through my head all the time. And I think, well, actually, that's setting me back, you know, setting me back what day I can buy Bitcoin is. But you can't plan for these things, I suppose. Yeah, that's what's going on in my life, guys. So I think you're all up to date. You've heard all my thoughts on trading, cryptocurrency, mining, the future of Bitcoin. I've noticed more and more in the Telegram group chat criticism of me, that I don't do enough. I don't do enough videos. I don't chat in the group chat enough. I was only in it for quick money, which, if you look at a lot of other YouTubers, they just completely stopped a long time ago and they've never gone back. I've consistently posted and consistently stuck to my guns with what I plan to do and tell people in advance. You know, I was saying back in, was it November, December time? I was saying I'm not going to buy it back into at least February, March time. We've just come into June now, so you know, I'm not that far off what I said 6, 7 months ago. So I think I've been pretty consistent. The quality of my videos are not as good because I don't have a laptop anymore. So I do try, guys. Like honestly, I thought, yep, I'll have a nice big TV. Broken. I had a nice laptop. Broken. I have a PS4 Pro. I have a Nintendo Switch. I have an Xbox One X. I like gadgets. I like tech. I'm quite technically minded. And I think a lot of people in cryptocurrency are. That's how they've got into it in the first place. And I do try, but tech and kids don't tend to mix very well. My iPhone's broken. So I've got an iPhone XS Max, 512 gigabyte. So it's the most expensive iPhone they sell. And where my finger is on the screen here, the Face ID, one day when it was a really humid day, it steamed up and the moisture went away, but I cannot use my phone to do the Apple Pay or the Face ID, face unlocking. So yeah, I had an Apple Watch 2, but that smashed. My daughter smashed that as well. Actually, my daughter's really aggressive, actually, thinking about it. I feel sorry for her boyfriend in the future. So yeah, I'm sure this will break at some point, which will be devastating. So yeah, I do try. Maybe I should just give up buying tech and just buy Bitcoin instead, because then at least someone can't break it. Someone could steal it. My daughter might be able to steal it. Glen, fans love to hate. Never thought I would hear the words going to the Bitcoin shop with 100 zloty. Well, you're a no coiner now. Get a PC and get some Bitcoin. Yeah, well, I've got a little bit of Bitcoin, a very small amount. Glenn, take it to the Apple Store. Yes, I did, but they said because that was water, moisture damage, they don't cover it. Even though that apparently this is meant to be a waterproof phone up to 30 meters or whatever for half an hour, for 100 meters. I can't remember what the stat is. I said to him, this happened in the rain. I was just checking my phone when it was raining. It wasn't even raining that hard, but it was a very muggy moisture day. And they said, yeah, no, we don't cover that. And I argued with him in the store. I said, you're doing false advertising, because the advert for the iPhone 10 was a woman walking through the rain in, I think, Tokyo. And she was using her phone. I said, well, that's false advertising. They said you can file a complaint with our management. I did the same, and they just said, sorry, we don't cover moisture damage, and it's in our terms and conditions when you bought the phone, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, no luck with Apple. Get a PC. Yeah, I probably should buy a PC, actually. I should probably just buy a cheap laptop. It'll be annoying, but not just for cryptocurrency stuff. I use Excel spreadsheet a lot. All my bills and stuff I actually keep a track of, and my savings and my debts and outgoings. I have a spreadsheet with it all, and I update it whenever money gets transferred from one to another. And at the moment, I'm doing it all on my iPhone, and using Excel on an iPhone sucks. It can be done, you can do it, but it sucks. So I probably should just buy a laptop just for that reason. That takes the piss. Take it back again and demand it. You have to be persistent. You should go back. Yeah, I did. I tried. I really tried. The thing is, oh God, I'm getting right into all my domestic life with you guys now. I have a phone contract with EE where I can upgrade my phone whenever I want. Whenever I want. So literally the day that they announce the new iPhone, I'm on this like anytime upgrade. So literally I could upgrade today. I could have upgraded 14 days into the start of my 2-year plan if I wanted to. You can only do it once. So I'm in this sort of area where I'm like, do I just wait until the iPhone 11 gets announced in, say, September, which is, we're at the beginning of June, so I've got June, July, August, say September, say they announce it in October or release it, whatever. Should I just wait 4 months and get the new one then. No cost, just get a new one. Or should I upgrade it now and have another iPhone? But that means I've got to have an XS Max for another year. Who knows? I'll probably just wait 4 months. Right, that's it. Unless you guys have got any questions you want to ask me, crypto or personal or whatever, tech related, I'll give it a couple of minutes if anyone wants to get in a decent question before I go. Yeah, I have a feeling, actually, a lot of people that would have clicked on this video would probably about 5 minutes in would have clicked off, and really this is the nugget that they want to hear. I've got a feeling Bitcoin's going to go down. I think it's probably going to go down to, I would say 6K is pretty safe bet, but lower than that, maybe 5K. Hopefully that happens over the next coming weeks, months, because then by the time I'm ready to buy in, which is in a month and a half, 2 months time, then I should be buying at a low. That's what I'm hoping for, fingers crossed. 5G will not work for 5 years, so why upgrade? 5G. I wouldn't be upgrading for 5G. I would be upgrading just to get a new phone. Yeah, I mean, got all this arguments with Huawei and that. Yeah, it's going to take a long time, I think. When the seas are red, do not take anything personally. No, I'm quite a laid back guy. I don't worry about stuff like that. Life is about living and loving it. You can cook eggs on it. Yeah, that would be good. Although I don't like eggs, so no, it wouldn't be good. If I could cook a sausage sandwich, that'd be awesome. Right, it seems like the viewers just went from like 7 down to 3, so I assume a lot of people are coming off now, probably because I just gave the information they wanted, what I thought price of Bitcoin was going to go. So unless you guys have got any other questions, that's it. I'll wrap it up. Thanks for chatting, Pitmain. Thanks JD and Kevin and Spanish John and Guerrero Del Moro. Thanks for joining in the video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up before you leave. Click the subscribe button if you're watching this video and you're new. If you just like, sort of an honest overall opinion on cryptocurrency. I'm not trying to shill anything. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to convince you to do one thing or the other. So just literally a normal guy with a normal lifestyle, a normal amount of money that people can invest into cryptocurrency. If you want to hear those sort of thoughts rather than eccentric people that are making thousands off their viewers, then click the subscribe button, click the thumbs up button, and join the Telegram group chat. There's a link down below. If you've never used Telegram, it's a free app to download. It's like WhatsApp, but I think it's a lot more advanced and a lot better than WhatsApp, in my opinion. So as a group chat of us, Team Bitglen, a lot of these people you see in this live chat, I don't know where it is on these live videos nowadays, they're all in the Telegram group chat. So if you find any of their comments funny or interesting, drop them a private message or chat to them in the group chat. It'd be good to obviously get new people in the chat. And also if you want to try and beat my top scores at video games, there's games in the Telegram. And JD says, take care, see you at 4K. No, see you at 100K. This is what I was saying. This is where we're at the minute. JD thinks we're going down. Spanish John thinks we're going all-time high. This is why it's dangerous to try and invest at the moment. Pitmain, take care, Mucker. One day, John. See you on the other side. See you, Glenn. See you later, guys. That's it from me and Team Bitglen.